Hey, everybody, it's me, Jane Bond, and I am so excited to welcome you guys back to another episode of Unpack Your Life. And today I have a very special guest here with me. Her name is Kim Valez. And Kim, oh my God, her credentials read like, well, let's give it to you. Kim is a licensed mental health counselor with 15 years of experience specializing in trauma. She's also known as one of the leading voices in love, self worth, and identity transformation, guys. She's a certified life coach, certified NLP practitioner, a hypnosis practitioner, which, okay, I have to definitely get into that one, transformation coach, and nervous system mentor. Kim is also the creator of her company, Being Her, which is a method of powerful processes that blend deep trauma, informed healing, and spiritual embodiment, and subconscious reprogramming to help women permanently shift the patterns that keep love at bay. Is that crazy? So, guys, she says, this is her quote, my work is different because it goes deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Kim, it's
Hi.
so good to have you here. I am so excited for my audience to hear what you have to say because you are the full embodiment of love and wisdom and, I
Oh.
mean, deep manifestation. Tell us, what inspired you to go in this route?
Well, it was my own personal journey. Isn't that how it always is, right? I was already a trauma therapist and I
Okay.
had all the information and was working with severe personality disorders. People had very severe trauma. But here I was as this therapist in my love life, failing and picking the types of men that I was and never getting the outcome. It was always painful. It just was not good. And I started going down the path of, well, I'm doing all the things that I know as a therapist to do, and it helps to a certain point. But I was like, there's something missing. And I discovered powerful spiritual concepts. And the one that stood out to me the most was self concept. And self concept is just basically how you believe, what you believe about yourself and how you see yourself. But it changes in all areas of our life. This is why women can be really successful in business, but suck in love. They
Yes.
can be sucky in business, but they have really good marriages or relationships. We all have a blueprint in us that says this is who I am, and it runs subconscious. So I grew up in foster care. I had a lot of abandonment wounds. I had a very violent, drunk father who was pretty much absent. And my mom and I we don't mix. We're like oil and water. So,
Oh,
and I'm an only child. So I grew up really not feeling loved and supported and valued. And so that shaped me as an adult woman. I knew all that stuff, but I did not understand that it was me, that I was the common denominator. And it didn't matter which man I picked or how many times I went back to one of them. It
okay.
always felt and ended the same way. So once I learned self concept, I started really looking in myself because these men were just reflections of my pain, my beliefs, the
Wow.
way I really deeply felt, which was that I'm not worthy of love.
So, that's so interesting because after reading everything about you, I feel as though you decided to take on your own agency. And yeah, and I love it. I mean, for me, I'm calling you Dr. Love.
Oh, thank you.
As I told you when we were off camera, I used to read these books, and it's by Dr. Leo Biscaglia. And I remember one was called Get on the Bus, and that was on the bus to love. And I was a teenager, I was maybe 13, 14, but I was so enthralled in these books. It was all the romantic novels, but once I read the romantic novels, they were nothing compared to this Dr. Leo Biscaglia. And I feel like he taught me how to blossom as a woman.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I would read his books and I would get all these, physical arousals, and my mind was, totally engaged. And I was like, okay, I am becoming a woman, without even knowing it, because I'm reading these books and I'm understanding the concept of love. And he was talking about what you spoke about,
Yeah.
owning your self-worth and knowing who you are and thinking from here down as opposed to here up, because you talk about
Yes.
that,
Oh,
you
yes.
healing. And like I said, I love that you have embodied this.
Yes.
Tell the audience about what you mean when you say stop calling crumbs a full meal.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
that was, I know, oh shit, what is that?
That is what women do when they don't know their worth. And I was 100% guilty of it. So the breadcrumb settling, it's consciously, women are smart. I work with the most beautiful, successful women. You're like, get out of here. There's no way. But they have a programming that says, I'm not worthy to receive the love that I want. And they also have their body remembers the past pain of love and it's programmed. So they subconsciously seek out the unsafe, and are magnetically drawn to that. Right.
Is that the
So
bad boy syndrome?
yeah, the bad boy, the dating the married men,
Right.
getting the booty call guys all the time,
Yeah. Yes,
just
I know. That's
yeah,
crazy.
having texting partners. I mean, it comes in so many forms. You could get the man who just, work comes before anything. There's always a reason. It doesn't matter what the reason is, but there's always a reason for this woman that whatever man she's dating or involved with romantically, he's not going to give her what she wants.
Oh,
So
definitely not.
she abandons herself by accepting the crumbs. So he says, hey, this is all I'm going to offer you. So you get text once a week. You're lucky if you get taken out to dinner once in a while. You really only get hit up for sex or
And that's
just
like what,
for,
11 o'clock at night or 12
yeah.
o'clock at
Or hey, they could start
night?
early. I
You
mean, some of us getting older, like we get the text at 5 p.m. now.
do?
11 o'clock, I'm sleeping. But
Right?
yeah, or they just settle for that, and we lie to ourselves, right? We say like, oh, like I remember this so clearly myself and my girlfriends and just
Or
women
then
that
at
I've
the
worked.
same time, they're lying to you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, they're lying. They're
Right.
going to mirror to you what you believe because you accept what you believe you're worthy of. And so women get mad at the men. Well, you only text me once a week or you never initiate, you never ask me out, but she's the one always asking him out. You
Right.
never say you want to, I never met your family and we've been, dating for 6 months or a year, right? And so she gets so frustrated with him, but it's
Mm.
her. It's time, and it's not to shame her. It's for her to take responsibility of who is the version of you that says, even though this doesn't feel good, even though this is not what I want, why am I allowing it?
Wow. And why are they allowing it? Because it's
Because many
self-worth.
things, it's mostly self concept. Somewhere along the way, usually in childhood, there was something programmed in them that said, this is what love looks like. So either they have their parents, the way the parents loved them was inconsistent,
Right.
whether one of them, both of them were absent. I mean, there could be a million reasons. It's just sometimes mothers were single and had to work 3 jobs. So they just weren't emotionally there. It could be that. It could be they grew up in abuse. It could be the dynamic they witnessed between mom and dad, or mom's choices and partners, or dad's choice and partners, or both. And just what that programmed us as children of this is love and the feeling of it. Then we grow up, we don't know this is programmed. So now we're operating on autopilot. Your needs weren't met as a little girl if you're someone who has low self concept and love. So then you go into the world as an adult woman where these men kick up the most vulnerable inner fears, in deep, deep insecurities within you that you're not even usually aware of.
Oh, trigger.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
triggers.
And you don't know how to give to yourself what you're asking of them. So
Wow.
you look at them, you put them on this pedestal because, oh my God, I feel so amazing. I feel so magnetic with him. He's the one.
Absolutely.
Because you do feel good. It's a mirror of you. When you're first dating them, it does feel good. But when
Mhm.
you start to get triggered because now love's not safe, your nervous system's waiting for the shoe to drop. The minute the pattern changes, they stop texting at 8 a.m. when they did for the last 3 weeks. Her
Right.
mind is in a spiral.
And she doesn't know how to unpack that.
Nope.
That
And
becomes
she's just
an emotion.
reacting because she
Yes,
feels unwanted, unloved, scared, insecure, abandoned, all the things from her past. And then if she's got patterns in her love life because it's reinforced and imprinted in her body and her mind,
right.
this is what love is. So the brain's recognizing, her body's recognizing all of this, and she's just navigating automatically the way she always has. And so then she's chasing, then
Oh, wow.
she's accepting even more breadcrumbs because she's not getting her needs met and she doesn't know how. And she falsely believes that this little drop of water is the answer to her thirst.
Which are the crumbs, because
Yeah.
she has so much, she has a lot of emotional burdens that
She's
she carries
hungry.
with us. And then when she gets somebody that treats her decently or whatever she may think, and that could be the initial treatment
Yeah.
until they start the manipulation.
Yeah, there well, and some of them just start
Everything,
out right off the bat not giving them
right?
anything, and women will lie. I have friends that do this all the time where they're like, "Oh, that's okay. I don't want anything." I'm like, "Yes, you do."
Yes, you
Like,
do.
stop lying
Yes,
to
yes,
yourself. Yeah.
of course. And you have to be your authentic self to get through that, because if you keep showing up as the imposter that
Yeah.
you are with that person trying to match their energy, everything goes haywire.
Oh yeah. And I know for me, this was something magnificent on the other side of it. So when I had really low self-concept and none of my wounds were healed and rewired, I, I would call in men. I would write the list of the kind of man I want. And I called him in healthy, emotionally available, fully
Exactly.
ready to give me the world. And I'm like, ew, what is wrong with him?
Oh, it
I would
becomes icky.
Yes, yes. Because I would not allow myself subconsciously, I wasn't attracted to safe, consistent love. And then I would go right to the one that was the walking red flag. And it was this pattern that happens until now on the other side of it. I
Mhm.
am subconsciously only attracted to healthy men and very unattracted to the unhealed ones before I even know them.
You know what? It's so funny that you say that, because there are a lot of women, especially younger women today. They're so emotionally available to these men until they're not. Once they're in the relationship and it feels good, and it's maybe 4 or 5 months down the line, and they figure it out. Oh my God, this is not my person. What do I do? Now my triggers are starting to release, and I don't know which way to go, because I'm fighting, this losing battle with someone I want to be with that is showing me everything that they don't want to be with me.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Kim. What is the hardest thing you had to unpack to become Kim Valez
It's
today?
it's a lot, and I still unpack. So, it's just understanding the programming. So what does that mean? That means every day I wake up, I'm making decisions in my business, I'm making decisions in my life, I'm making decisions in my love life, and I slow down and I'm always checking, who is the version of me making this and why am I choosing this? Is this someone else's
Mhm.
belief that's
Yeah,
programmed in me that I'm accepting as me, or is this what I really want to do? And I give myself permission to not do it perfectly because I do believe and I do inner work daily. It's just part of my lifestyle and routine now.
absolutely. And you have to give
Yeah.
yourself grace.
Yeah. Yes.
Give
Yes.
ourselves enough grace. We need to have a whole bank account of grace.
Yes, 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 and
You
put a
know,
lot of deposits in there because
absolutely.
yeah, because at the end of the day, like, no decision is wrong. A decision that you made, it was just rooted in whatever the beliefs and your identity was, which
Right.
is why you made the decision. So tomorrow, you could be someone totally different and
Mhm.
decide, "Well, this doesn't fit for me anymore," so then you get out of it. Like, nothing is
Absolutely.
permanent.
And it's a choice. It's definitely a
Yes.
choice. You can either stay stuck
Yes.
or
Yes.
rewire your brain to say, this is not for me.
Yes.
I mean, I had to make those decisions. That's where Unpack Your Life came from. I had to pause and stop and say, Jane, look, is what you're carrying, worth its weight? Is it helping you grow,
Mm,
or is it holding you hostage? And then say to myself, I have to align myself with what makes me happy.
I
And I
love
had to
that.
move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to move on. I'm looking for alignment, not approval.
I love that. Yes. And it changes, right? Because what like I look at things that we want in different goals. Like I was an accountant. That was not aligned for me at all. Even back then they were like I had like the joke was we need to get you a shingle that says therapist.
Oh God,
And then I
right?
became a therapist, right? But we
It was
all
coming all along. You
it
just
was. I was just trying to avoid it. Then I thought I'm going to be a police officer. Well, that was a no. And it's just you're always looking at who am I? What do I want? We don't know a lot of times, and I think that's the fun part of being human, right? Is figuring yourself out for now.
I think it's all those externals that have us going crazy in our mind, trying to get approval, trying to fit in the box the way people perceive you when they meet you. You know, they
Yeah.
project things on you and you try to match it. Straighten up, figure it out. You know, you become that person that they project on you.
Yes.
And all you want to do is be happy, be safe, and be in alignment with who you are. You know, because I always tell people, you know, unpacking isn't about perfection. You
Right.
know, no way. You when you're unpacking because there's something that is not in alignment.
It's messy.
Oh, it's so much. I call it icky because it gets stuck, you know. And I always say to people, you know, unpacking is about raw, relentless authenticity. And
Yeah.
it's not easy to tap into that as a human being, especially as
No.
women. You know, we're strong. We're looked at, we're the carers. We take care of everybody. We bring everybody into
Well,
this
and we're
on
told,
this
I
earth.
mean, no matter what corner of the world you're in and what you're watching or viewing, somebody's
Yes.
got an opinion of what a woman is. And
Yes.
we were programmed from our family, we're programmed with society, we're programmed
We're
from,
caretakers.
yeah, everything.
We
And
don't want to do
always,
that all our lives.
yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
we have things that we want to live. We want to live life to the
Yeah.
fullest. We want to, you know, say, listen, we want to take it by the, you know, balls and crush it. And
Yes.
there's nothing left in it, you know, and just keep running. And that's how I feel. I said, life is to be embraced. Life is to
Yeah.
live. Life is to make your own choices, male or female. Unfortunately, the male needs us to help
Yes.
them along the way.
Yes.
And here it is. When that happens to us, we shrink.
Well, we shrink because somewhere along the way, we've been told this is the way to be. And this
Mhm.
is the thing. This is why it's hard for people, including me, to live authentically because you're peeling back the constant bombardment of programming.
Oh my
I have
God.
to understand, is this my mom's voice in my head? Is this
Right.
my grandmother's voice? Is this the foster care worker? Is this my last client? Is this the coach or therapist I worked with? Is this the movie I just watched? Like they're constant, the messaging,
Yes.
especially women in love with dating. It's like,
Oh my God.
these dating coaches, I'm like, they're just scratching the surface. Like they're not even getting, it's all the games and just stupid stuff that doesn't work.
And not only
Um,
that, when you're dating, you know, it's not just you, it's all the people that are in your circle that are telling you about who you're dating and how
yes.
it's supposed to
Oh,
work. And they're comparing their relationship with your relationship and not embodying their own relationship and they're not equipped enough to give you advice. And
yes.
I believe you answered my question. I was going to ask you what kept you in the past from holding back your authenticity because
Well,
I know.
I didn't know the real me. And I'm still not perfect with that, right? Like, I'm telling you, like, when I wake up, like in business and different things, I'm like, what? Like, I had to get real clear. I'm like, what do I want? Because I was
Mm,
finding myself working with business coaches and different things. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this because that sounds good. And then I would try it. I'm like, oh, this is not for me, right? So I would say, no, thank you. Then I
yes.
thought I wanted a business partner because I was 7 years been on my own doing this. So I'm like, all right, I'll get a business partner. Well, biggest mistake ever.
Oh God,
But
please.
I learned
I
quick, got
know.
out in six
Yeah,
months. And thank God I did. But all of those things, like I don't beat myself up and I don't ever look at them as wrong choices. They help me get more clear about
absolutely.
my true self and what I want. And that's part of the journey because the journey can feel messy when we're discovering. And then a lot of times we discover certain parts of ourselves, but then 3 years or 5 years or 10 years later, we may
That
be
was
someone
me.
brand
And
new. Yeah, yeah.
we're different in every season, and we're different in every, I would say, a half a decade because we're evolving. We're not the same person when we made those decisions. So as we
Yes.
grow, our decision method changes because
Yes.
of what we've been through. And hopefully, you had some really good times and you can live off of that. But if you had some really messy times in your life, it takes a lot to unpack that. I know for me, you know, I couldn't be myself. I was walking around as this imposter, looking very powerful, but not living in my real truth and
Yeah.
not sitting in my truth and not being honest with myself, And also I was afraid of being misunderstood. Listen, I'm 5'11", 6 feet
Are you
tall,
really?
big hair, big hair, the
I
whole nine,
love it.
and just having a time with things, And the weird part about that was I knew that either I was going to be misunderstood, right? For being too much or not enough. And I'm a lot. I know for
I
myself.
think in a good way, you're a lot.
Yeah,
I have a
and that's
feeling it's
okay.
that.
I don't care which way people take it now because
Yeah.
I know I'm a lot to handle. But it's it's who I am. And I
Yes.
have taken that and have internalized and said, I'm good with me. I'm
Good.
very
I
good with
love
me
that.
because I'm being honest. But honestly, I had the fear of starting over, again, after I unpacked. I was performing, like I said, a version of myself that looked powerful, but you know,
You didn't
wasn't rooted
feel
in
it.
peace.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't rooted in peace. And that is so important because you're all over the place when you're not rooted in peace. And I thought if I showed my true self, I would lose respect, I would lose
Mm.
love, I would lose opportunity because in my business, I'm a real estate agent and broker. I'm licensed in 3 different places. So when I show up, I have to show up as that powerful woman that's going to sell your $10 million house or buy, a 5 or 10 million, $20 million house for you.
Yeah.
So people expect a certain look, a certain person when you show up. But what I learned, which is really interesting, is withholding my truth. I wasn't protecting myself. I was actually disconnecting myself from the people that needed to see my light.
Yes.
So I had to embody that. I had to say, you know what? Fuck it.
Right.
I choose alignment
Yes.
over approval any day now. And that's who
Yes.
I have become. So
Love
that's
it.
why I totally related to you when I read everything, especially the questions you answered. I mean, you really
Yeah.
went into them. And I
Well, they
said,
were great questions.
oh, thank you. I said, this
Very
is
thought provoking. I was like, oh, she's going to make me think now. I love it. I love it.
it's so funny because some people don't answer the questions. And I go, okay, I know what this is about. So
Right.
we're not even going to ask you those questions. But
Right.
it allows me to see a little bit about who you are and
Yeah.
how you walk through this life, and what you have unpacked thus far. And
Yeah.
then the question will be, how did you get to that point? What made
Yeah.
you, unpack? Was it you got up to here and you said, the hell with life? I need to realign myself because all my trauma is coming to the forefront every time I'm in this relationship. I'm successful monetarily, which
Yeah.
doesn't heal anything.
No, it doesn't heal anything.
I
And
don't care
it
what
and
car,
I had
what
to learn you have to go through that sometimes,
yeah, you do. You do.
yeah, and that's part of the journey is that you
Mhm.
think all these things out here is gonna fix and fill the void
No,
until you go through them, and it
they don't.
doesn't, and I think the thing that really switched the flip for me was my son went to prison.
Oh,
And he went a couple of times. So what happened was in his teenage years, we were always very, very close. And then when he turned about 15, 16, he's 29 now. So this is a long time ago. He was starting to go down the wrong path.
of
And
course.
nothing I was doing or his father was doing, it was not working and it was a nightmare. And so I started it started kicking up all my abandonment wounds because my son and I had him at 19. So it was the first time I felt unconditional love. And we
Right.
were so close. And then I started losing that relationship and I was like exposed
Oh
of
God.
all my deep pain and insecurities from my own childhood. So then my answer was like, well, I'm just going to drink wine every night when I come home because I don't want to feel what I was feeling inside. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I started drinking a little bit of wine and then I was drinking a bottle a night. And after a couple of months, I'm like, okay, one, I wake up feeling not physically like shit, but emotionally, I'm still feeling the same. And I was like, girl, you're going to turn into an alcoholic. Like,
Or even
this is
worse.
not,
Yes.
yeah, I'm like, this is not the answer. Like, so I started facing, and I would go out every night after work. I was out, I had to be distracted because I didn't want to go home and sit in my misery.
Oh,
So I stopped drinking and I just stayed home and I started journaling and I started building the relationship with myself of what is going on in here that's making me feel so unworthy and in so much pain, and stop
absolutely.
running, talk to yourself, love yourself. And that was the thing that really started the journey for me.
And I'm sure journaling shows you clarity. I always tell people, and I didn't realize that until late in my life. I mean, I was journaling, but I was journaling different. I was one that kept every itinerary I ever owned in my life
Oh
as an
yeah.
adult. And I would go back and look at things that I had written back in, even now that I'm here, even I look back at 13, 14, 2013, 2014, 1999. I would go, oh my God. So I accomplished this. I did all those things.
Yeah.
But that part, that love part was never accomplished, at certain stages in my life. And then when I did accomplish it, what I thought was it
Yeah.
was not. It was master manipulation at its best. And I had to really figure that out and learn how to, embrace discomfort, because that's where the growth breeds. And
Yeah.
I had to say to myself, okay, I can't deal with this. How do I unpack it? And I
Why
had,
am I in this? Why
why,
am I
why did I,
accepting
yeah.
this for me? Right? Like where
And we do,
this
we
is
accept it
not what
because
I
we
wanted.
love or we care for, or, you feel small and
Yep.
your light isn't shining as much as it used to because someone's dimming it. And
Yeah.
you're like, why am I allowing this to happen to me?
Yep.
This is not the person I know. So I had to find her again. And I
Yeah.
remember saying, looking in the mirror, going, where are you? I miss you.
Oh yeah.
Really? And the really interesting thing about that, I used to keep a picture on my dressing table of me when I was in college. When I first went to New York and I was blossoming, I was beautiful, I was having fun, life was great. And I took this picture. And every time I looked at that picture, as I got older, that person started disappearing. And I would say to myself, well, wait a minute, you always see yourself when you were younger. I didn't even see her.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I had to manifest her again, find her,
Yeah.
and embody her again. And that's where the strength started coming. I
Love
started
it.
finding myself getting stronger, and look, every day I would look at that picture and go, oh my God, I'm going to find you. And I remember screaming in my bathroom, going, I miss you. Where are you?
Yeah.
I was alone and I said, I'm going to find you. And I found her. And
You
once I
did.
saw the smile, once I saw that face illuminate like the face that was on that picture, even though I am older, I was her again.
Yeah.
I can tell you that was one of the happiest days. And that's when I made my decision to totally unpack. I
I
said,
love it.
I found you and I'm coming to get you.
I love it. It's
Exactly.
a rebirth. It's a
Oh, rebirth
rebirth,
is amazing.
Yeah.
I asked you a question about cancel, society within social media today. And, I wanted to know, do you feel that women are held to an impossible standard of perfection?
Yes.
I know,
We're
I feel that.
so it's so interesting to me because when you go online, it just kind of comes with the territory because you're exposed to thousands and thousands of people that you can get trolls, you can get the weirdos on there, like things will happen. One thing that I notice that tends to be for in my experience is being held I don't really pay attention to what others are doing in my field because I like to stay in my lane and just keep
Mhm.
growing myself. But what I do notice is that I'll get, like, I just had one today, a comment. It's always a woman who has something negative to say. So I had a woman one time. Now, I typically wear shirts that are like up to here, but every once in a while I show some cleavage. I have like a low cut, cute,
Absolutely.
sexy top, right? So I remember this was a couple years ago, a woman, I had posted a reel and I had some cleavage showing and she was like, "Oh my God, this is why you're successful." And da da da. And I'm like, one picture of cleavage is like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm like, girl, have you seen the thousands of videos I have where like
Check
so
your self-esteem.
exactly. Well, I was triggering her because she is obviously feeling shameful about that or her own beliefs. And so she jumped it on me. And then even today, I had someone say, like, "Oh, your forehead." And I said, "I'm really sorry you're this insecure. Get my free love quiz because it'll help you." That's what I said. Babe,
Wait
do you
a minute.
understand what this brain does? Yeah. I was like, this is a supermodel
Okay.
dimension.
I love
Big
it.
forehead and long jaw. That's what you have to
That's
have, like the
right,
even
girl.
dimensions.
That's
But I
right.
was
Own
like,
it. Own it.
yeah. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I'm not modeling. I'm trying to change your life. But it's few and far between, right? But I mean, it's usually women that attack you. I have experienced mostly, and I understand why, because this is what I believe. I believe because when we had no freedom, we literally had no rights. We were raised and bred basically to marry out and to make the family's name better, right? Because the women had to stay in the house. We couldn't work. We
Right,
couldn't vote. We couldn't do anything.
right,
So there is a competition. This is why I think it exists with the women
right.
is
Hmm.
you had the way you survived back then was to marry out, and then there was no internet and global stuff, so you were limited to your neighborhood. So there was a lot of competition of trying to get the best man in the neighborhood, and
And a
that's
lot
what.
of reflection.
Yes, and women were, our identity was built on getting married and having children. And that was all we were allowed to do back then. So there's this mindset that has been passed down through the generations of woman, mother to daughter,
Hmm.
that still is feeding that mentality. So this is why I think when women that are not comfortable and living their own truth, when they come around other women and they'll get triggered because the insecurities kick in and
Absolutely.
that way of thinking, like, and it's like, no, none of us are in competition. It's about uplifting each other. You
That's
know,
because
that,
they don't shed comfort.
yes.
No, they and pack courage. And
Yeah.
if they pack courage, they wouldn't feel that way because they would only be there cheering you on as another woman. And I believe women need that safe space to learn that. And
Yes.
that's why another reason I created Unpack Your Life. You need a safe space to learn from other women without being, you know,
Judged
triggered
and
and judged because
yeah.
of your own insecurities.
Yeah.
You have to write off those insecurities or try to fix them somehow.
Yeah. And
Not
we all have them. I mean, there's no human being that doesn't have insecurities. And it's even what you're
absolutely.
saying, like you're beautiful and gorgeous and you
Mm,
had your own and smart and successful and got the sass. And I love it. But you had your own stuff you had to work through. I'm the same way. I can be, but I
yeah,
had my own, and I still like now that I went blonde and I have tattoos everywhere. And there's people, that judge me as soon as
from
they see
tattoos,
me.
I
She's a
know.
bimbo. She's this, she's that. I don't care. And none of it bothers me because I know that's not true, but
You can't give a
it's,
damn about that.
yeah, but we always like women are always it's never enough. You're either too fat or not enough, or you're
Right.
too skinny, eat a
Absolutely.
cheeseburger type, somebody's
Yeah.
telling us that, or you look, when I went blonde, everybody, you look better brown. I don't care, babe. I'm going blonde. I'm owning
It
it.
feels good to me.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm doing it. I don't want to deal with my gray hairs. I got this.
Okay. Look, girl, same thing here.
Yes.
This hair is all white, guys, if you want to know. But
Well, it's gorgeous. But
don't keep
that's the thing too, right? It's like we're not pretty enough. We look too old. We can't do
right,
this. We can't do
right.
that. We have a baby and then you have to be, perfect right after, or like it's just crazy. And then I'm 49, so I went through perimenopause, and so I started gaining weight around my midsection, like never had a weight problem for like 15 years, and all of a sudden I'm
All of
like,
a sudden.
what is happening? And then nothing was working, like and I heavy weight train, like I count macros, like all these things, and then I wasn't me, like my energy and my motivation, and it was a fight every day to just live my life. But
Keep
I got it all
moving.
straightened out. Yeah,
Yeah,
but we go through so much, and there's not, I think there's more coming in the space. I'm in tune to women that are in their 50s and 40s that are talking about menopause and
right.
perimenopause, which
Mhm.
I love, because I don't know your mom, but my mom wasn't she still doesn't talk to me about it. And she knows everything I'm going through. They just
My
didn't
mom,
do
my
that.
mom was a nurse, so she talked, and she had 6 girls, so she talked to
Oh,
us.
well, good.
She showed us how to do everything.
Wow. Yeah. No, you're so
Yeah,
lucky because
yeah, that was a great foundation.
they
Yeah,
didn't really, and they didn't have support for the women before us like they do now when they go through that. So those women just dealt with it in silence. I kind of feel like the menopause and perimenopause issues, you know?
I remember calling my mother out on it, being in the kitchen with her, and she was so mean that day.
She was having,
Yeah, I was like, "Mom, you're going through menopause," and she turned around. Oh, I thought she was gonna backhand me. I was like,
right?
"You're being mean to me because you're
Yeah.
going through this." And she gave me such a look. But then I said, "But you told me this is what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
why aren't you trying to help it?" So 'cause
Yeah.
we were really like this when she was going through it. And
Yeah.
she was a nurse. My mom's 86 now, but oh God, she's the most unbelievable woman I ever met in my life. And thank God I had that foundation because she did share with us, everything that goes along with being a woman and taking care of yourself and being healthy and
Yeah.
believing in yourself. So I was blessed with that. You know, I wanted to ask you another question. What do you think? What is one thing you think society glorifies about success that you found to be a complete and utter lie?
That it's like this, that it's linear, or
Mm,
if that's linear, right?
yes,
That it's
linear.
easy, that, yeah, like I think it's also what is defined as success, right? Because, yeah, listen, we live in the human existence. We have all this luxury around us. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a luxurious experience. I believe we're here, we like aesthetics, whatever. Like you like what you like. You got to understand the programming, though, right? Is why we like the cars, we like all the different things
Exactly.
because we're brainwashed so
And we're
much.
capitalists. Oh, don't forget that.
Oh, yes, yes. But I do understand through my own journey that I'm still is it is not about getting to the end. It's who you become as you're becoming successful, because my business, your business, all of our businesses, our career choices are mirrors to our beliefs of what we're worthy of,
Excellent.
and it requires different
Oh, that was
different
good.
identity shifts and rewiring throughout,
Mhm.
so that you can elevate. Because I know when I was a therapist, I had my own, I still am, but I don't really practice it as much. I do mostly coaching now, but I had my own private practice, and then I switched online in 2020 to do the transformation coaching. And so I took off overnight and got super successful in like less than a year and a half, and still am. But
Perfect timing. COVID.
yeah, I know. I was like, that's why when people cut me like the
Yeah.
economy, I'm like, I don't want to hear it.
Right.
I'm
Right.
like, because people get rich all the time in shitty economies. So that's just a belief.
Exactly.
You're focusing on the wrong
Especially in
thing.
my business.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I bet.
The biggest trade of property, wealth, and everything during those times. I mean, during COVID, that was one of the biggest amount of trading property and wealth. It was
I
crazy.
bet. I
Yeah,
bet. I can't even imagine in your industry what that looked like. I mean, I just saw like the realtor shows when they would talk about it, but like to really
it's
be
true.
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and be in it and be at the top of it, because when I first started in it, just to digress here a little bit, when I first started in it, trust me, I was selling $90,000 houses that people just was crazy because of the economy. It's 2008, the market dropped, people were losing their
Yeah.
homes. I got licensed, I think, in Florida in 2010, and I was walking into homes, and who knew? Why would you go into real estate when the market is no good? Because the market has to come back up. That
Yeah.
was my thinking. But while I was in it was crazy because people were losing major homes, $500,000 homes, $1 million homes, $10 million homes. I would go in these homes and you could hear yourself echo,
Yeah.
8,000 square feet homes, and people have written all over the walls and pulled out the copper from the walls. And
Oh
people
my
were really,
gosh.
really upset. But, the thing about that is they came back. They
Yeah.
came back, and I was selling homes at $90,000
Yeah.
a pop, and it was crazy. So then as I rode the train up, I saw so many different types of people coming back into the market, trading and buying, and I mean, that was a real crazy time for us. People were losing their minds. And at the time, I believe I got my life coaching license, the same
Yeah.
thing in 2020. And I was like, wow, this is really, really interesting. Actually, I got it in 2019. Going back to that, getting my license, that was something different. I had a major loss in my life. I lost two best friends in
Oh.
1 year, 4 months apart from each other. One was the love of my life. He was
Mm.
my ride or die, as we call it.
Yeah.
And I had to sit with that. I had to sit
Yeah.
with that grief. I didn't have any outlet for it. And like you, as far as grief was concerned, and far as being, you know, that was for me, that was the worst time of my life because I did what you did. I started drinking,
Yeah.
but I got over that really quickly.
Yeah.
And I
But
wasn't
that
drinking wine.
but that's the thing, right? Is that the pain can get so this is every human experience. We're all going to have some type of pain. And there's a moment in time where you're going to try to alleviate it, whether it's alcohol, some people turn to drugs, it's the TV, it's food. I mean, it's men, dating the different men. There's so many ways that we can distract, but the beauty is, right, is the perseverance, the strength, the resilience is you recognize quickly, this is not the answer.
No, no matter what you're going through.
Right.
And hopefully you recognize that fast.
Oh yeah. But some people don't. I mean, I used to work in drug addiction, right? So I know people that play with that Russian roulette every day for years. But when you wake up and then they can get sober and then their lives are amazing. And I've seen hundreds of them do it,
Yes,
hundreds of them.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. I love what you said, when I had asked the questions prior to you coming on the show. You said, my worth isn't up for negotiation.
Yeah.
Wow, how powerful is that? It's my
Yeah.
identity. And
Yes.
you said, once you embody that,
the,
game
the
over.
game changes. It changes with money. It changes with your friendships. It changes love, all of it. And that's the thing is that the more self-concept work you do and you really embody this version of you who really knows she is worthy of such an
Absolutely.
amazing,
Yeah.
beautiful life, right? And you keep pouring into you so that your cup is overrunneth. And then who you're so picky about who you let in because you're not when we don't know how to
Mm,
fulfill within, we need all the distractions and different ways of people and versions of people that are
right.
probably not to our best to fulfill us or attempt to or distract us from it. And even like, especially in my business, like, and listen, this is a growth thing, right? But it's like looking at how much you charge for something, looking at how quick your boundaries with people, because people, they don't understand the expense on themselves when they overgive and they overfunction for others and they give
Absolutely.
nothing to themselves or very little.
Everything to everybody every time. And that's what I tell women. I go, you have to pause and reflect and ask yourself, is what I'm carrying holding me
Yeah.
hostage, or is it allowing me to grow? And if
Yeah.
it's holding you hostage, you got to find a way to break out of
And
that.
is it what the fuck you want? Like,
Right.
it's just that simple. Like, do I want this? No. Then why am I choosing this for myself and do the work? And if you don't know, then you need support. You need to get a coach and allow them to support you and shine the spot on the blind spot, the light on the blind spot, so you can wake up from this and take ownership and empower yourself.
And create clear boundaries and dare someone to cross them. I
Yes.
don't think it's about being selfish. It's about having
No.
self-worth and valuing who you are as a person and coming to the forefront with that. And when you have those boundaries, people know not to cross them. And it's not that
Yes.
you're being,
Well, you just don't deal with it. Like you can have someone come in and do something
Mhm.
once and it doesn't align with you. You could say, no, thank you. But if you
Right.
keep going back and allowing it and they keep doing it, that's on you. We can't control the first time somebody does anything, but oh no, this is not how I operate.
But
So
you can
then,
control the narrative.
yes. Yeah.
That is the key. Once
Yes.
you control the narrative of who you are, you
Yes.
can step back and go, you can cross that boundary if you like, but
Right.
you will not be in my presence again.
Exactly.
That's who
But
you have
women won't, a lot of women won't do that because they're scared. They're, if
yes,
I say no, he'll leave. If I say no to the client, I don't get the money.
right.
And
You
they
can't be
find
in a place of
themselves,
black
yes.
and
And they
desperation
negotiate their worth
all the
all
time.
day long. I
All
don't do that. I'll have a client reach out to me and, trying to negotiate my price. And I'm like, this is the price. I'm sorry. Great. You can't afford it. I get it.
you're
One
not my
day it'll be
customer.
here for you when you're ready, but I'm not negotiating. Love, if I'm dating and I'm meeting a man and he's like, I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, bye. Like I know who I am and
I love
I
it.
don't allow, because the thing is like, I really, from the woman who didn't understand that, is I think it's selfish, the version of me who I used to be, it's selfish when we pour into everyone, not ourselves, and then we get mad at them because
They don't give
they are
back.
yeah, they're playing a role that we've allowed, and we get mad and frustrated at them and we get resentful. Well, I'm like, I was somebody's girlfriend before I knew him for 2 dates, the old me. And I was like, already, I'm his wife. I'm this, like, in my crazy mind of my low self concept. And I would act like that in my head. And I
Already
was,
fantasizing.
yes. And like playing a role to someone that had not even earned the right to be in my space. And women do this with love and sex all the time. And I'm not Miss Prude, and I don't ever shame a woman for having sex because I think the act of sex is beautiful and it's what humans do. But I always work with women about who is the version of you that's saying yes to it, because
Exactly.
that's going to give
When
you
you
all.
really don't want to say yes.
Yes,
That part.
yes, yes. And we got society telling us. I just watched a movie the other day and I was like, because like you probably noticed all the programming everywhere. And I'm like, no, where the girl was like in her 20s and the whole movie was around her having sex with all these different men.
Ugh,
And I'm like,
how boring is that?
yeah. And I'm like, that's not healthy for her. Like, why does she need to do that? What is going on with her that's the
Exactly.
solution?
That
And
you feel
some
love.
people say, oh, I want to have fun. Okay. But most women I've come across with at this point of being a therapist and doing the transformation coaching is the women that are sleeping around, they don't love themselves and they're hurting and they're aching and they just want the attention and that moment where they feel that fake closeness with someone because they don't have it any other way. And
Right.
so they are giving up themselves in that way. And then they shame spiral when they don't hear from the person
Mhm.
again for a week or two?
And they're looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is
Yes.
where you're gonna find it.
Yes. It has to come from us. And we're so busy about, I need to make this relationship with our children, right? I have to pour into my clients. I have to pour into the man that I'm involved with. And yes, this is how you water and you nurture the relationships that you want to grow and thrive. But where are we doing it with ourselves?
Right? Who's pouring into us when we know that's our responsibility?
And then you
And I
don't
always tell
need it
people,
outside of you. And then you're free.
absolutely.
You're free because you don't get offended. You're just not dealing with stuff that doesn't align. And you know and trust that you hold your boundary. Everyone will rise to meet them at some point. You're just not waiting around tolerating crap until they do.
Yeah, because we that's something we know how to do. But
Yes, already lived that. It doesn't work out well.
I know it hasn't worked out well for me and I'm so over it. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm here today, and people need coaches like us,
Yes.
and I'm not a therapist, I by no means, do I say I have licenses to do this, but I always feel like I have a voice and always have
Mhm.
had a voice to inspire women and
Yeah.
ignite, something inside of them to be the best that they can.
Well, and you
That's the
also
goal.
have your own personal transformation and
Yeah,
journey that so many women understand and are going through, and you're on the other side of things, so you can help guide them and course correct with them to get
absolutely.
the same outcome. So you are very valuable. And the licensure doesn't mean shit. I mean,
Right.
and this is a thing with credentials. We grew up in an era where credentials are everything and they
Everything.
do matter to some level, right?
Right.
But it's also like, I know when I was in college and getting my master's degree in this, I was looking around the room and I'm like, these people are going to be therapists, some of them.
And some of the shit they spill is like terrible.
Yes. So it's just the
Like,
same thing with doctors, right? There's good
yeah.
ones. There's not every industry. It just matters on the person and who they are. That's, you
And
want.
what they're going through at the time. Everybody needs a coach.
I
Damn,
think so.
Oprah said she has 3 coaches.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, she needs to call us. So
right? And I just think, me doing my whole unpack your life thing, it was such a light bulb for me. I was like, and I trust me, before I went through the journey, and I'm still going through the journey. I didn't feel like I could lead anybody unless I was experiencing the unpacking myself.
yeah.
Now that I'm going through the journey, and people like you that are coming on my podcast, trust me, you're helping me work through
Oh,
this
yeah.
journey. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. That was one of the reasons I created the podcast. Also, I said all the people that will come on will be therapy for me. Also, they'll be
Yeah.
my therapists. I'll learn from them, I'll grow from them, and I'll become the person that I want to be in my life, becoming that, being her,
Yeah.
as you said.
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
be her in the world where my voice is heard and I can help and support other women feel the power and step into their power. And like I said,
Yes.
I'm still going through my journey. So that was a
Well,
question
I
I
think
was
we all
asking.
do until we die. Like, I mean, it's kind of like once you learn it, you can't unlearn it. And this is about, I believe, so it's a daily nurturance of you, right? So
Absolutely.
I'm always building the relationship with me. And I have certain practices that I do from the time I wake up until I go to bed, the same way I go to the gym, or I have my routine, whatever. We all have our routines. It's the same thing. I am very important to me now. Where before I wasn't, before I got shingles twice, I neglected my health. I was distracting. I would shop all day and spend all my money just so I didn't have to feel anything until that didn't work, right? I mean, we've tried it all. And now I'm like, oh, what's going on with you? Why do you feel this right now? Let's sit with it. And I do deep breathing and I'll calm myself. I really have such a deep relationship with myself
And I
and I
love
check
that.
in. I got to pay attention. What's going on,
Self
babe? What do you
love,
want?
self
Yeah.
love, because
Yeah.
that self love is so important. If you don't have it, you're going to be looking for it in all the wrong places, which is a horrible thing.
And
You
it
know,
doesn't feel good. When
no, it feels
so many,
icky.
yeah, icky. Yes, it is. And so many women, they're so like hurting for connection and closeness
Yes,
because they're so disconnected because we're not taught. And it's not our mom's fault because they were raised whatever way they were raised. And so nobody really taught them, no, this is how you sit with yourself and talk to yourself and the way you think about yourself and say these things and this and that because their mothers usually didn't program. Most women are not raised in a home where the mother is practicing this,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And if her
So,
relationship sucked, and a
yeah.
couple of her daughters' relationships sucked, when you go to talk to any of them, guess what? He sucks, and you're
Yes.
right, and you need to just move on. And it's not really good advice to take on and make moves with.
Right.
This brings me to my next question. What do you think women should talk about more openly that they don't talk about as far as, business and success is concerned?
Oh, I think the personal struggles, but with the solution. So I would love
Plus,
to
no.
hear, yes, yes, because what a lot of women will do, right, is they talk about, I see two things that are really common on social media. They just show all the wins and they're not honest about last week. I had a day where I was spiraling and I was triggered, but I did all the practices I've been telling you all to do. And thank God I came out of it. Or my hormones were kicking in and it took me into a funk, but I did X, Y, and Z and that helped me. Or, I realized I had this limiting belief in my business that was keeping me playing small in some way. Like I would love to hear more women because one of the things I am calling in and manifesting more in my life is more transparent women, but in a healthy way. Cause the other
Yeah.
way I see it is they're just crying and
Hmm.
they're dumping and then there's no and I'm like, ew, I don't want to be, I'm not your therapist and I don't want to hear the dumping. I
Right.
want you to show up real. And if you cry as you're sharing something, but you're giving me how you worked through it, because I think we need to help other women see we're real. Like I'm always telling the all over social media, right? I'm like, oh my God, I'm going through perimenopause and this happened, right? But here's how I help myself. Or like, look, I gained 10 pounds in it. It was when I went blonde, my hair was like real down to here. When I went blonde, all of this snapped up to here.
Oh, absolutely. I
And
I was there.
Okay. So, when we have big, thick, gorgeous hair and all of a sudden I got like a mullet and I'm like half bald,
How did
it
this
messed
happen?
with my, I had
Cool.
never experienced that before. It was like a loss. And
You're
I went and got extensions and did the whole thing because I don't have it now, but I was like, I'm not doing this. Right. But
right.
it was interesting for me to see when I had this physical change, how it fucked with my identity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I share that. Like, I think we need to be real. I think we need to be real because so many women just show up and say, oh, look, I got the million and this and that. But they don't tell you, like,
Mhm.
girl, 2 years, I didn't know what I was going to do. I went to coach after coach.
Oh,
I,
oh,
invested in this. I've spent over probably $300,000 on my own personal development
oh,
personally.
you have to just grow,
Yeah, like you have to pour into you. And I don't know the answers all the time, but I know what to do so I can get the answers and eventually I'll get them.
girl,
But
because nobody's
I
coming
think
to
that's
see
what women need to do. What do you think? What would you like to see more women do?
because I know nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to
Yes.
dig deep down and dive into it and
Yes.
pull yourself back out. That's what I
Yeah.
did. That's when I was like, where are you? I miss you. I know who
Yeah.
you are. You are not this person. You are walking around with this power look and you are so insecure about what's going on in your head. Everything is not right here. All the pieces weren't fitting together anymore. Oh, I was coming driving down this road in my Range Rover talking about, yeah, I did this.
Right, right,
You
right.
know? And then all of a sudden went silent. I had nothing to say. And I
Yeah.
remember that year of not being on social media. And then one day I was at work and I just went into one of the rooms and I said, guys, you know what? I know you haven't seen me on social media in a long time, but I just want to share with you. I was so tested.
Yeah.
My life, I lost, I loved, I failed. Yes, failed. I'm saying that out loud. And I couldn't believe I got on social media and said that to the audience that I have. And the outpour was like, what's going on? Where are you? And I thought, well, where were everybody? Where was everybody when I wasn't showing
Yeah.
up? Nobody was writing to me saying, Jane, where are you? We haven't heard from you. We love your voice. You're now all of a sudden I'm telling you what was going on. I'm getting this outpour of support. And I just felt like, wow, okay. So you were there, you were watching. And as soon as I came back now, but I kind of needed you before that. And I'll never forget, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to tell them why I haven't been on social media. I'm just going to
Yeah.
stand up. It's my pain, it's my journey. And
Yeah.
hopefully they will come with me and see that I am a voice because I have the experience of going through this journey
Yeah.
and I'm still going through it. I don't have all the answers, but I'm unpacking as we speak. And what I learn, I like to share.
Yeah.
So, it's not an easy thing when you decide that when you make a major decision in your life that helps you, because
Yes.
people see it as something's wrong. What is she going through? What
Yeah.
happened? And nothing really happened, but I just wanted to grab a hold of me, own my own agency, embody who I was in my head wanting to be.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
Yeah.
Now I have that smile again,
I
and
love it.
I feel healthy.
And we could see the Range Rover pics too, girl. Don't
Yeah,
stop
yeah. Oh, they
because
saw them. Trust me, they saw them.
yeah, because I do love that because when I see other women that are successful and achieving, right, it does remind me I can do it too. And I think that's really good for women for us to show that, yeah, you can get successful. You can be this in real estate and coaching and all these things.
But I have
Um,
trauma.
yeah, right. But let
All
me
that
share
looks
parts of it
good.
with you, right? That this is not easy. Like I tell women all the time, I'm like, so I work probably more now, right? Owning my own business than I ever
Mhm.
did working at an agency or for any other corporation.
Of
But
course.
it never feels like work because it's my baby. It's
I
your
love
business,
that.
it's
I
your
love that.
vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's different, but I'm like, and even like I had manifested earlier in my business, like I was like, I want all this free time and I want this and that. And I did. I making good money, upper six figures,
Right?
just showing up twice a month live. That was
Lovely.
it. That was
Love
it.
it.
And then
Yes.
I was bored. I was like,
I get
no, I got to do
it.
something. And I'm not, this is my purpose. I got to help
Your
people.
passion too.
Yeah.
And that's where I came from. I was like, you know what? Okay, I love real estate. That's what makes the money, but this will turn.
Well, this will make money too. Yes. You got the
This will
whole
turn.
planet. You got 8.5 billion people to work with.
Exactly. And unpacking for me is very important. I think it's a huge part of our lives as people. We have to, and you have to unpack before you burn the house down. So if
Yes.
you
Yes.
unpack frequently and you take the time out of your life to say, oh, wait a minute, is this in alignment? Am I,
Yeah.
does this feel good from here down, or is this helping me? No, because sometimes this can get you in trouble, the brain,
Yes.
because you got two people, no and yes.
Right.
Sometimes go and you're not supposed to go. So you have to really check in with your feelings, your emotions. And if it feels good, then take that step. Because, like you said, every season we're evolving to a different person. So the answer that, or the decisions that we made then might not be the
Yeah.
decisions that we're making now. You
Yeah.
know, I have one last question for you because we're going to wind this down. Oh, I could talk to you all
I
night.
know I could talk to you all day too.
Do you have a ritual or a practice you can leave us with as a reminder that helps you stay with yourself when you
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
you're getting lost?
Yeah. So I'm all into just really anchoring into me. So doing something right now, real quick, where we just breathe in through our nose
Mm.
and you just exhale through your mouth and you put your heart on your hand on your heart and put your other hand on your belly and you just breathe in, exhale. And I just say, I am safe.
I am
I
safe.
am enough
I am enough.
and I am clear.
And I am so clear.
Everything I need to know,
Everything I
everything
need
I
to
think
know.
I need to know, it will reveal itself to me to lead me to the best way forward for myself.
Absolutely. Everything I know and everything I think I know will lead me to the thing that I need to be the best version of myself.
I
Yeah.
always talk to God too because I believe
Oh,
God resides
100.
within us. And so I'm like, God, show me the way, show me the way, show me the way. I'll say that 100 times a day. If I'm lost, show me the way, show me the way. It's so obvious, glaring in my face. Show me the way. And then
How
God
am
always shows
I
the way.
missing this? When I wake up in the morning, first thing, I'm here, and he and I have a standing appointment. So
Yeah.
he knows I'm going to show up. You know, Speaking with him just fills your heart, and
Yeah.
you'll get the answers.
Yes.
You will get
Well,
the
it's I think, and everybody's different with their religion. I think a lot of religions we're trained to believe like God's like somewhere up in the sky
No, he's
apart
within
from
you.
us. Yes.
Oh,
But
he's with
so
you.
many women don't know that because they've been taught that he's outside of us. So
Right.
they think they're praying like, maybe he'll
Exactly.
hear if I'm lucky. And it's so then in their mind, they're like, please, maybe help me do this instead of, God's listening and
And he's
you're connected
connected.
to that divine essence. So then you talk to him, boom, like he's right here. Show me
Absolutely.
the way. I know you promised me everything in the Bible. Everything in the Bible says, I'm going to deliver my promises. We're the
That's
ones that
right.
keep doubting.
That's right. And with doubt, guess what? You're without.
Yes, yes,
I'll leave you guys on that note. Oh my
yes.
God, Kim, I love talking to
I
you.
love talking to you
I can
too.
talk to you all day long. Please tell everyone where to find you, how to get in touch with Being Her,
Oh, yes.
which I love,
Thank you.
and hopefully you'll come back and visit us.
Oh, I would love to. Absolutely. So you could find me. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Kim Valez Official. And then you can go to kimvalez.com and all my details are there. And the Being Her membership is there. And there's fun, free stuff on there too. If you want to get what's your love identity quiz, I have a
Oh, I
secret.
love the secret. Yes, yes.
Yes, I have a secret podcast that goes into all why your nervous system is attracted to the unhealed toxic types of men and how to rewire it and things like that.
So all you closet clients, come out of the closet. You need Kim. I think I
Oh,
need Kim.
I need you.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I love
Guys,
it too.
listen, I'm so happy you joined us for another episode of Unpack Your Life. And I wish that they all were like this because this was amazing for me. And I have to
Oh,
tell you, I was a little nervous in the beginning. I didn't say anything. I was like, how is this going to pan out? This woman is amazing. So
oh, thank
yeah,
you.
I'm so happy. You have such a nice not nice. You have such an amazing, beautiful light.
Oh,
You
thank you.
know,
You do too. That's why we connected. That's why we
yeah,
resonated with each other.
I could see it in your face and when you talk and you're full, you're so full.
Yeah.
And I hope the audience just gravitate towards you. She
Thank
gave
you.
you all the information, guys. Again, I'm Jane Bond, of course.
I
And
love your name, girl. Let
thank
me tell
you.
you, I just have to say this because I think you're so amazing, and we're gonna have to meet in person one day and go have a nice dinner and just chit chat. But
Sounds good.
when I saw your website, I was like, I am obsessed with this woman. I was like, I love the vibe, I love the feel, and then just meeting you now, kind of in person, I'm like, yes, she delivers. She's everything.
Oh,
So I
thank
love it. And the name, I was like, that name is, I
That's my
love it.
real name. That's my real. I used to get that. I used to be a flight attendant. It's so funny. I would go through Europe and I would just flash my badge because the name was so big, and they would say, "What is that? No, come back." And I was, "No, that's my real name."
I love it.
Yeah,
It just matches this essence of you, and it's
yeah.
just power, but it's authentic power. It's
Thank
strength from
God. Yes.
within. Yes. No, I could feel that because I the fake stuff I'm turned off to, and that's not you at all.
Oh, thank you. So, guys, you know where to find me on all the platforms for a podcast, Unpack Your Life. And I would love, love, love to hear your feedback and subscribe because we have so many great shows coming and that are there for you to help you and support you. And ladies, you know, the Unpack Your Life Starter Kit is coming
Ooh,
soon. Yes.
that's exciting.
Oh, that's very exciting. So we'll see you guys on the next episode of Unpack Your Life.